You believe there's a 1998 Silverado in California with 1.7 million kilometers that's never had the engine opened? And the owner swears he's passing it to his kids when he dies? This isn't an urban legend, it's documented. And today, you're gonna meet 7 of these trucks that simply refuse to die. Look, I spent the last 3 months hunting down the highest mileage Silverados on the planet. Talked to owners, mechanics, fleet companies, and I discovered something GM probably doesn't want you to know. Some of these trucks were built so well, they literally last longer than most people's marriages. And before you think, but they must have replaced everything, wait till number 4. That Silverado never had an engine part replaced in 1 million kilometers. How's that possible? Stick around to the end and you'll understand. First story, Wisconsin, 2001. A farmer buys a white Silverado 2500 HD. Base version, no luxury, zero fancy stuff, just vinyl seats and AM/FM radio. This truck starts doing the same route every single day, picking up milk from 3 neighboring farms, taking it to the dairy, coming back. 150 miles a day. Rain, snow, ice storms, without fail. Know how many miles she's got today? 1.2 million. Original engine, original transmission. The guy just religiously changes oil every 5,000 miles and says that's the secret. But there's a detail that dropped my jaw. The odometer broke at 590,000. He wrote down everything by hand after that. Got a notebook with 6 years of daily notes? That level of obsession is scary, but it works. And here's something you need to know. This Silverado has paid for itself 8 times. 8. He calculated it. If he'd switched trucks every 5 years, like normal people, he would have spent $280,000. Kept the same one, spent 35 grand on total maintenance. Let me repeat that, saved $250,000.
Second story is insane. An industrial equipment salesman in Ohio buys a 1999 Silverado extended cab. His job? Visiting clients in 6 different states. This man drove 500 miles per day. Not a typo, 500. Every day, Monday through Friday. 52 weeks a year. You do the math, gives you chills. Today, this Silverado has 1.4 million kilometers. And know what the biggest problem she gave? The alternator died. Once, at 500,000 miles. But wait, it gets better. He sold the company in 2019 and retired. Know what he did with the Silverado? Nothing. Still using it. She took me everywhere for 20 years, he said in an interview. Now she takes me fishing. I'm not abandoning a friend. People, I don't know about you, but this moves me. A man who gets rich and doesn't trade his truck for a new one? That says everything about the confidence he has in her. And there's more. He got an offer from a collector last year, $45,000 for the Silverado. He laughed in the guy's face and said, not even for 100 grand.
Third story, Anchorage, Alaska. Average winter temperature, -4 Fahrenheit. That's frozen hell for any vehicle. A guy buys a 2003 Silverado Z71 to work for an oil pipeline maintenance company. The job? Driving 300 miles a day through ice roads, snow, and mud every day for 18 years. Current mileage? 1.1 million. Original V8 engine, original suspension, and here's the craziest part. She's never seen the inside of a heated garage. All maintenance was done in an unheated shed at 5 degrees. The mechanic who takes care of her said something that stuck with me. This Silverado survived temperatures that would kill a polar bear and still runs better than most new trucks I see here. But there's a secret. A secret the owner only told after 3 beers. He never shuts off the engine in winter. Leaves it running 24 hours a day from November to March. Shutting it off in extreme cold is asking for it not to start again, he says. Might seem like a gas waste, but know how many engines he burned doing this? 0. While his co-worker switched trucks 4 times, he's in the same one. Who saved more? Now comes the story that completely changed my perspective on these trucks. A veteran ambulance driver in Montana retired his Silverado 2500 in 2023. Reason? He retired. The truck? Working perfectly. 1.3 million kilometers. Never, listen carefully, never had an engine part replaced. No gasket, no seal, no spark plug. Okay, he changed plugs 8 times, but that's it. This man transported emergency patients for 22 years with the same truck. Think about the responsibility. Think about the pressure. One mechanical failure in the middle of nowhere could cost a life. And this Silverado never failed. He told me crying, I swear crying, that this truck saved lives. There are nights the storm was so bad I could only see 10 feet ahead, but I knew she'd take me there and bring me back. Always did. Is she retired today? No. He donated her to his grandson who just got his license. If she took care of me for 22 years, she'll take care of him too. Man, if this doesn't move you, you have no heart. This isn't just a truck, it's a family member.
5th Silverado, Arizona. Desert. 113 Fahrenheit in summer. Dust that clogs everything. A contractor buys a 2004 Silverado crew cab to transport construction crews. The route? Job sites in the middle of nowhere. Dirt roads, scorching sun melting the asphalt. Mileage today? 610,000, almost joining the million club. But what's different here isn't just the mileage. It's that this Silverado worked in conditions that destroy vehicles in 5 years. Fine desert dust that gets into everything. Heat that kills batteries in 2 years. Roads that break suspensions like dry branches. And her? Solid, strong, unshakable. The owner made one modification, installed a dual air filter system. Learned this from tractors, he said. Engine can't handle breathing dust directly. Result? While everyone around him switched trucks every 3-4 years, he kept the same one. And today, with the Silverado worth $18,000, even with almost 1 million kilometers, he refuses to sell. "This truck made me rich," he said. "I'm not going to be ungrateful now." 6th story is different. It's about a guy who almost made the biggest mistake of his life. North Carolina, 2008, an electrician buys a used 2005 Silverado with 112,000 miles. "It's done," everyone said. "Buy a new one." He didn't have money for a new one, bought the used one anyway. Years pass, 250,000 miles. People, time to trade. Him, still running. 373,000 miles. People, dude, this is gonna leave you stranded. Him, when it does, I'll trade. 497,000 miles. People, you're crazy still using that. Him, silence, because he got tired of explaining. Today, 1.05 million kilometers, running like a Swiss watch. And know what's crazier? He did the math. While his friends traded trucks 3 times since 2008, spending an average of $35,000 each time, $105 grand total, he spent $22 grand on total maintenance. Saved $83,000 by not listening to the experts who said his truck was done. The lesson? Sometimes sticking with what works is smarter than following the herd. Last story, the oldest, the most impressive. California, 1998. A guy buys a brand new 1998 Silverado 1500. Nothing special, LT version 5.7 V8 automatic. He was a delivery driver for an auto parts distributor. Irony? Spent all day delivering replacement parts, but his truck never needed any. Today, 2025. This Silverado has 1.7 million kilometers. It's the highest mileage of all on our list. Engine? Original. Transmission? Original. Differential? Original. His only secret? Fanatic about preventative maintenance. Synthetic oil every 3,000 miles. Fluids changed religiously. Serpentine belt changed before problems. But there's one thing he said that sums it all up. People treat trucks like they're indestructible. Forget it's a machine. Machines need care. You take care of it, it takes care of you.
He retired the Silverado last year, but didn't sell, didn't donate, stored in the garage with a protective cover. "This truck deserves rest," he said. "She worked hard her whole life. Now it's time to rest." And I swear, seeing that 68-year-old man talking about the truck with the same affection someone talks about a pet dog, that changed something in me. So, 7 Silverados, over 8 million kilometers driven combined, all running. But know what all these stories have in common that nobody tells you? It's not luck. It's not "got a good one." It's not magic. It's respect. Each of these owners respected the truck, changed oil on time, didn't abuse it, didn't ignore weird noises, didn't procrastinate. And here's the truth the auto industry hates that you know. These trucks were made to last. Literally. GM built these engines in the 90s and 2000s to be indestructible because they still had engineering pride. But then they realized, customer with truck that doesn't break doesn't buy new truck. Revenue drops, shareholders cry. So what did they do? Started making trucks that break more. Not because they don't know how to make durable ones, because too durable doesn't make profit. These 7 Silverados are living proof that they know how to make a truck last 1 million kilometers. They just chose not to anymore. And know what's most infuriating? A 2003 Silverado with 125,000 miles is worth more today than it was 5 years ago because people are waking up, realizing the old ones were better.
So, if you've got an old Silverado that everyone says it's time to trade, don't trade. Take care of her. She can serve you for the next 20 years. And drop in the comments, do you have a high mileage Silverado? How many miles? What's the biggest problem she's ever given? I read all comments and respond. If this video changed your perspective on old trucks, hit that like button because it helps me tremendously to keep bringing these stories. And next week, I'm going to show you the 5 Silverados you should run from. There's one that literally catches fire by itself. No exaggeration. Till then, peace.